Hi Taurus, this is Just with your November 4th, 2019 weekly reading. I hope you guys are having an enjoyable day so far. So Taurus, um, family, money, woes, someone has them. It could be you, it could be another person. You may have carried someone for quite some time or someone you just to keep things on the level, just to avoid any problematic situations, in order to keep the peace, right? But some of you could be at the place where you may see that it's now time to take a step back from giving to someone. You may slow down the amount of time, energy, or effort or financial support that you're giving to another. Some of you may feel like this week or the rest of this year may go at a snail's pace. Now, some of you are going after your successes in career and financial matters, and congratulations. You may get some really great news. You may actually, all the efforts that you've put in now, it's coming back tenfold. You may be hearing from a lot of people their interest in you and kind of feel a bit overwhelmed of what you should do. Some of you also may experience some type of outburst or conflict from another in the workplace, and that kind of throws you for a loop. You may have tried to settle something, even if there's agitation and conflict at the workplace with a particular person. You may have tried for a very long time to mitigate and to alleviate any friction. But now you're deciding to take a step back from the situation now that you're taking a closer lens. There is a part of some of you this week with, although you're trying to make a decision, should you reach out? Should you, help again, probe, ask questions, find out what's going on, reach out to someone, apologize, show some area of concern. That's going to be your challenge to possibly not do or to do. For each of you, it'll be different because you may not feel very happy with someone. You may be thinking about all of the negative situations you've gone through with a particular person. And it's going to be difficult this week to see it in a positive way, even though you want to, even though you may be doing it, but a part of you may feel a sense of resentment. For some of you, others of you may pull back altogether after, as I said, taking some time to review and revise or to analyze the situation. Now, some of you could be very emotional or holding back your true emotions, particularly Taurus women. And you may find that even though someone is maybe even going above and beyond to get through to you, so this is kind of echoing, the cards are pretty much saying the same thing, and it can go for you or another person, that there's someone trying to get through to the other person to no avail. And it even may create conflict because someone becomes restless or resentful that they're not being heard or taken for granted. And now there's trying to realize, or to evaluate, where do they go next. Okay. It's kind of confusing because you may feel like you've done all that you can do and you're doing everything that you can to keep the peace, and you may not be getting the same response from others that you think is equal or necessary. So some of you are taking a long, hard look at where you are. Some of you, I think, is also getting restless in life, and you're looking at where you are and where you've been versus where you want to be. There's an opportunity to start anew, but it's going to cost you. The sacrifice you shall make. And I don't even have the hangman here, but your storyline is really giving me hangman energy, sacrifice, and being at that pinnacle stage of which way do I go? Do I let it go completely? Do I start this now over? Do I keep trying to make this work? Do I maintain the balance? Even though a part of me may be feeling unmotivated to keep it going, what am I going to do? So you're in that pinnacle time. You're not at a place, I don't see yet, that you're pulling the trigger at all, Taurus. I feel like some of you may not even feel confident to make this change at this time. You may feel like you still have open-ended issues with an individual or a place. It could be a place of work. It could be any part of your life, but you still have something open-ended, and you're allowing your intuitive side to take over. So even though secretly you probably just want to free yourself and do something wild and crazy. Intuitively and reality wise, you're not going to do that at all. You're not going to make a move, not just yet. And that could be how someone is responding to you as well. It could go vice versa. So now your finances looks really good. As I said, you may not be getting everything that you like or everything that you expect. If you have your own business, you can be earning from six to up to $1,000. May reach just below that, but I do see an extra or six to up to 1,000, as I said, coming into you this particular week, and you will try to decide. So I see 6, 7, and up to $1,000 could come to you, and you may be trying to decide what do you do with the monies that you have coming in. And it can be doing inventory, it could be do a number of things. You have your own business. Be careful if you own your own business that you may deal with a disgruntled customer, and you may be, again, not in the clearest of place to figure out how do you handle this particular customer. I think taking a step back and not allowing emotions to take hold, which typically that is not a Taurus, but to go silent a bit, go within, you'll be able to come up with the best decision down the line. Remember, we're in Mercury in retrograde in Scorpio, so this is not necessarily the time to act as it is opposing your own sun. So you will get kicked back from people, or people feeling very challenged psychologically, whether it be you or them, right? Not being able to be on the same page. Now let's look into the elements. And this is how we already discussed, your emotions and the money aspect and the practical areas, the way you will be taking this week, and the way you're thinking, that sort of thing. We're going to now look at how this will relate to others that you have in your life and the people you come in contact with. So if you're dealing with an air sign, I feel air signs will be more than willing to communicate. Air signs, I think, are being the most honest that they probably will ever be with you this week. So if you're dealing with air signs, listen to them, because they're being honest and they're telling you the absolute truth. It may not always feel good, it may not always be with tact or at maturity, but they are being honest. Now, and you'll be able to get clear communication from people as well, with those same notes of, not so tactful and that sort of thing, but you will be getting clear communication with people. The emotions of how you're dealing with people and their emotions with you, when we're focusing on water, will sometimes be triggers. So you may have a spat with someone, but then the common goal is to come to a place of forgive and forget, right? Let bygones be bygones. And there may be emotions that's kind of erratic all over the place, and some people may be very confused in how they're expressing themselves to you, how their feelings are for you, or how you're making them feel. Well, if you're dealing with fire and your aggression, your challenge, that sort of thing, fire energy and fire signs will reach out to you. They'll be the driving force this particular week. They may need you in some kind of way. They may be a bit frustrated and have a lot of heightened aggression because they're going through something. Life could be a little bit too slow for their liking, and they may be very aggressive at this time or lacking in confidence. So if you meet someone as a fire sign, they may be overcompensating, that sort of thing as well. But that also speaks to people initiating phone calls and wanting you to kind of meet with them and that sort of thing. Now, if you're dealing with earth signs, I feel like earth signs here will be the ones helping if you need a lending hand. They also are taking a step back, so they may not be so willing to communicate first, but they will be available if you need them, and they will be very tempered in how they respond or communicate with you, because they are in a very evaluating and analytical stage in their life, so they're not quick to speak or judge. And they will give, even if it's financial, but it will be with the intent to get their money back. Okay. And that could create a problem if you don't return that money. So let's go into love. Now, when it comes to your love aspect here, it looks like some of you could be in a bit of a pickle with someone. There could be a third party here. Someone has interfered into your relationship. There could be someone definitely trying to come back, but they're coming back because they're in a bad place in their life, and they can always call on you to kind of boost their ego. I feel like this is like an ego trip. You guys may be dealing with someone. It definitely doesn't feel like it's you ego tripping. It could be someone around you that's ego tripping. And it's, even if you're single, be careful, Tauruses, because you guys are a magnet right now for egotistical people, people who need their ego stroked, who feed off of others to validate themselves. Unfortunately, that's what I'm seeing here. Others of you may be going through problematic situations in a long-standing relationship. Someone may feel like they've given, only to keep the balance, but that needs to change because they may feel like it's one-sided, or this person is always in need, or you're always expecting me to do A, B, and C. And maybe because I don't place the same expectations on you or put that same pressure on you, then it is for me to, there's always this one-sidedness is what you could be going through. Some of you may be cutting someone off and you just don't have the passion. Some of you may not feel confident about this situation. You just don't see the growth in it. And you're like, and someone may just be speaking their truth about these very things that I mentioned or something related to that. But there's a sense of not having the passion, not even feeling like you have complete control over the situation, and that it does compromise your own self-esteem and self-worth. And if this is not you, it's someone else. But I do feel like a lot of communication about the very same problematic situations will be discussed. It's open communications. People will be getting things off their chest, but it is something that is still going to be open-ended. Even if someone says, I don't want to deal with you, it's not over. It's not over. Secretly, this person is definitely going to come back. They may not be doing it in this particular week, after the phone call, after the discussion, after the talk. They may not be doing it just then, but they want to. They may be tempering themselves. And I see Taurus is definitely, some of you just kind of want to get out there and kind of get into some type of excitement and some type of fun, but you're holding back. You don't want to just go off of your excitement or your physical drive. You don't want to go off of those feelings. You want to come in the right way. And for some of you may not even feel comfortable or confident in yourself right now to even put yourself out there to meet someone new. So there's still open-ended situations when it comes to love matters. And some of you, the challenge is definitely accepting someone in, or for you to even make the gesture towards someone. Perhaps you've done it in the past, or they have, and it's always gone ignored, like someone's ignoring you or you them. And a person, it's making it very difficult to reunite because someone is still holding on to whatever problematic situations that you guys are having. So there is this needing to make a decision. After this talk, where do we go from here? And who's going to truly make the change? And how are we going to make this change? So it's not just communication, but there needs to be real life actions that people can commit to. And I feel like Tauruses, for the most part, you guys are doing that, but you may be dealing with someone that is pretty problematic and that gives you this on again, off again. They're telling you how they feel, but then they'll almost send mixed messages somewhere down the line, if that makes any sense. Or for some of you, you may even be reading more into it than what it is, because I do see someone being completely honest about the situation, and the other person kind of holding back to see if this is 100% what it is. Like, okay, so we're 100% over. Okay, so it's done. It's done. Okay. But then someone still wants to come back, but they're not doing it, but they want to. And so that can create some other issues that after it builds up so long that they can't take it anymore, then they'll find some way to get back into your life, albeit confrontational, or they'll find any kind of way. They need something, they need you. It's a conflict that they have to address you with. It's all a scheme because they've been building up for so long. And they can't take it anymore, basically. So in the extended, we're going to look deeper into this relationship and find out what's going on. All the details to the extended is in the description box below. So if you like that extended, click that link below and you can get started with the rest of this love reading. If you like something personal, you can click on the link to my website. You can set something up for yourself. I would love to hear from you, so please leave your comments in the comment section below. And if you're new to this channel, welcome and subscribe, because I will be back very soon with another one. Take care, Taurus. Hi, Taurus. This is Just with your November 4th, 2019 weekly reading. I hope you guys are having an enjoyable day so far. So, Taurus, family,